Hi, I'm Eddie Obeng, and this is how daily I try and bring you a little idea, a little thing with tip, trick, which can make a big difference to you. Today, I've got one which hopefully will solve issues like, when you sit down with a piece of paper and you have to try and put together a proposal or a report and you just got blank page and you can't work out what to do, or you probably have worked with other people and all of a sudden you're working and you have a conversation, you discover you're in completely different directions. This is how you solve it. It's called 5 Ps. Let's go into QUBE and let's get going. So welcome to QUBE. As usual on QUBE, as you know, the sun is always shining. So let's go for it. 5 Ps, here we go. So has it ever happened to you that you said to somebody these magical words, which is, I know you've done what I asked, but what I said wasn't what I meant. If you ever said that, then you definitely need this pet. I talked earlier about blank sheets, but also has it ever happened to you that you're working with a group of people and then about halfway through, you discover you're all working to different purposes? But what's happened is it's really difficult to explain to people the full scope of a set of activities which you're trying to do together, okay? And this particular pet I tripped over by accident. I went, we were running a course. I was running a course with a chap called Lawrence Udell, and we went with the clients, participants, we went paintballing as a sort of team icebreaker thing. And I listened to the chap who was briefing us, doing the safety briefing and explaining what we were going to do. And I thought, blimey, that's the most clear explanation I've ever had. So at the end of the thing, I said to him, that was an amazing explanation. Where did you learn to do that? And he said, oh, I was actually in the military. That's how we do briefings, okay? And so I went and went, oh, that's interesting. And then I did the bubble diagram. So unlike most pets where I do the analysis, the bubble diagram, the causality map, and then I create the pet, this one was done backwards. So I had the pet, and then I tried to check I hadn't missed anything. So what is it? Basically, it's a way of making sure that you are really clear on what you do for everybody. And there's sort of 5 stages to it. The first is the purpose. Why is this important? Why is this necessary? And it's quite crucial to be able to explain in sentences why this is important and necessary. Why are we doing it? What's it for? What's the purpose? Often people jump straight from the purpose to this is what you're going to do. Big mistake. No. Where you need to go next is you need to go into asking, well, what are the principles? What's in? What's out? Who do I need to talk to? Who should I make sure I'm involved in this loop? Then the next one is to talk about the people in general. So it's going to affect these people. Those ones are going to be interested. You're going to be doing this at this point. Other people are going, so they get the sense of all the people. So you go principles, then people. Then you talk about what the process is. This is the step. How are we going to carry it out? What are the key activities? Are there dates and timelines? And then you close with perhaps the most important thing, which is not just how will we know if we've won, but how will we know if we are winning and what will happen when we have succeeded. So they get metrics so they can see whether they're going in the right direction, but they also get a metric which is about the outcome. So you can see whether the performance is worth all this extra activity. So that's 5 Ps, and there's 2 ways you can use it. First is if you've ever said that those wonderful words which are, it's not what I meant, then you really want to do it solo. What's solo? Solo, you start with performance. You start up here, down here. What am I hoping I'll walk away with? How will I know if I'm winning? And then you go to the top and work from purpose down. But if you're working with other people and you're worried about that elephant thing where one person thinks the tail is a snake, another person thinks it's a wall, and everyone's walked away with their own ideas. And this happens a lot. I watch people in Teams meetings. No one takes notes for the whole group. Everyone takes their own notes. No one does a playback at the end to say what we've done. So I often see them, they arrive at because they're all 1 hour long. Don't ask me why, they're all 1 hour long. I don't know why. Why 1 hour? Anyway, it arrives at the top of the hour and everyone starts running away. So they all leave with their own ideas. So what you do early right at the beginning is, if you're doing it collaboratively, even if you're likely to run out of time, all sit together and everybody write what they think the purpose is. On QUBE, you'd all create the stickies together, put them all up together, so that there's parallel working, so that the boss isn't influencing anyone else. Everyone's got the idea, plus also gives you a chance to say what you think you're doing. Again, always sentences. Then you move into the principles. What is it? What's in, what's out? And everybody writes what they think the principles are. And then you work your way down through the people, through the process, and through the performance. And when you've got all of that captured, then you go back to the purpose and you'll have, I don't know, half a dozen stickies up here. Okay, and you'll say to yourself, okay, well, let's have a look at these stickies. This one says that one says that. Okay, they're all a bit different. Maybe what we should write, and you write a single sticky to make sure that it aligns with what, with what everybody else thinks it should be. And you would write one. I'm just changing the color. That's what I was doing. Done it again. Done the same mistake again. All right, here we go. Yeah, so you change the color. My brain just stopped. To, I don't know, make it a orange. Oh, I've just made it the color it was. Okay, so this is the summary of what everyone's put. Then you move on to the next one, which is the principles. So that by the end, although you all started with different views of what you're trying to do, you end up with a single version of the truth for everyone. So that's 5 Ps. You can use it on your own. You can use it to get started on your reports. You can use it for summarizing. You can use it for briefing people so they don't get things wrong. You can work together your team so that you're all aligned. So that's it. Again, if you want the quick guide, https://qube.cc/pets/5Ps. And I've been Eddie Obeng. Have a wonderful time and do stuff and do it well and do it brief people properly. See you again. Bye.